Hello viewers, I remain Beatrice Christopher from Statistics Scribe. God's willing, in these tutorials, I'm going to explain the IBM SPSS Statistics Data Editor window. So this is the window that opens automatically when you launch IBM SPSS Statistics, okay? Remember, like I said previously, it is a spreadsheet-like window with rows and columns, just like your Microsoft Excel, with the exception that you cannot actually execute formulas into the cells directly or into this bar directly, okay? And like I said in the previous videos, we have data view and variable view, okay? Data view and variable view. So trust me, it's going to be straightforward. So on the menu bar, we have menus such as File, Edit, View, Data, Transform, Analyze, Graphs, Utilities, Extensions, Window, and Help. Okay. Then on the title bar, we have Untitled 2. This is where the file name will appear. Here we've not saved it, that's why it's showing Untitled 2 dataset. So when we save our dataset as Statistics Scribe, here we're going to see Statistics Scribe in place of Untitled 2. If you save it with your name, say Musa is going to appear here in place of Untitled 2. If you save it with your name, say Moses is going to appear here in place of Untitled 2. Then it's going to be Moses Dataset 1 IBM SPSS Statistics Data Editor. So next thing we have is called the standard toolbar. And on the standard toolbar, we have options such as open data document, save this document, print, recall recently used dialogues, undo a user action, redo a user action, go to case, go to variable, variables, run descriptive statistics, find, split file, select cases, value labels, use variable sets, customize toolbars. So under the customize toolbars here, you can actually select where you want your standard toolbar to be showing, whether you want it to show throughout all the windows or just data editor window or syntax editor window or the viewer window, which is called the output. So like your Microsoft Excel also, the next thing we have is it's called the cell reference. Here it's empty because as you can see, my sheet here, the spreadsheet here, it's actually a gray color, meaning I've not activated it yet. So once I click on anywhere else, let's say I want to click on this one here, it's showing me I'm in what, row 1. Click on this, row 2. Like I said previously, it is a spreadsheet-like window with rows and columns. So here we have row 1, which is our active row, as you can see. So the active cell here is on row 1 and the variable name is unknown because we've not defined the variable. And here on the bar here, just like your formula bar, but this is just a typical bar here, which displays the content of the active cell. Okay. So let's assume I type in a number, say 3. Just observe here, it's going to create a variable name for me called var 00001. Okay. So, and on the formula bar here, which is known as our bar, as in Excel, you call it formula bar, but this is just a bar. So I'm going to type in 3, observe here and observe here, 3, enter. So here, this is telling me, let me go back to the 3, the cell reference. But before then, look at here. This is the active sheet here. It's telling me that I'm in row 2, column called var 00001. And as you can see on the bar here is empty because I don't have any entry in this cell. But once I come to row 1, here is going to show me the content of row 1 in the bar. So observe please. Clicking on it, it's telling me I'm in row 1, column name called var 00001. And on the bar, it's telling me the content of this active cell is 3.00. Okay. The reason why it's 3.00 because IBM SPSS statistics are default displays numbers into 2 decimal places, but you can always reduce it. So you can see this is decimals, 2 decimal. You can always reduce it or increase it. Okay. You can always change it, whatever it is you want to do. Do you understand? So the next thing I want you to know is that the whole of this data view, this is where the content of the data file is being displayed. This is where we enter our data. This is where we type in our data or see the data we are working on or the data we have entered. Okay, we can edit the data here too also. Okay, so now let's go to the variable view, but before then I'd like to show you a shortcut, and the shortcut is Command T for Mac users or Control T for PC users when you want to toggle around the data view and the variable view. So I'm using Command T or Control T as the case applies for you. So as you can see, it's toggling. This is variable view, it's toggling. This is data view, variable view, data view. So I'm going to go to variable view here. So I'll click on variable view here. Now this is called the variable view, as you can see, and the variable view is where we define our variable attributes. So, and we have 11 attributes, so that is 11 variable attributes in IBM SPSS statistics, which are name, type, width, decimals, label, values, missing, columns, align, measure, and rule. Okay, and here, as you can see, the row represents the variable and the column represents the variable attributes. Okay, unlike in data view here, where the row here represents the cases and the column here represents variables. Okay, so in data view, rows represent cases and columns represent variables. Okay, while in variable view, rows represent variable and columns represent variable attributes. Okay, so I'm going to explain each of these attributes in a short while. So the first attribute we have here is called the name. Okay, this name here displays the name of the variable we want to use. Okay, let's say the variable name is age, put in age, sex, put in sex, whatever it is you want to put in. So here the default one is var 0001 because that's what we had in the data view here, as you can see. So let's go back here, the variable name here. Let's assume, let me create a new variable. So I have sex, enter. So as you can see, this is sex. Variable name, the name of my variable is sex. Okay, so whatever it is that you want to name a variable as, you can actually name it. It's that simple. Anyway, I have a video on how to create variable in IBM SPSS statistics. Okay, so just try as much as possible to check on that video because it explains in details. Okay, so the next thing we have is we have type. Okay, so under type here, this is type. We have this tells you the type of data, whether it is numeric, string, comma, scientific notation, whatever it is. So let me show you the various ones we have. We have numeric, comma, dot, scientific notation, date, dollar, custom currency, string, restricted, numeric, such as integer with leading zeros. So forget about this width and decimals because I have it here, width and decimals. So I'm going to explain it to you. Okay, so hope you understand this. So the next thing we're going to is called the width. Okay, and this width here, so you can see I have 8, 9, whatever it is, you can increase it or decrease it. So the width column here tells you the number of digits displayed for numerical values or the length of a string variable. Okay, so then here we have the decimals. The decimals tells you the number of decimal places for each numeric variable. Okay, and there's a rule to this: the number of decimal place here must always be less than the number of width. Okay, let's say here is 8 and I want my decimal places to be 8. It's not going to work. I said it has to be less than. So let's say 8. You see the number of decimal places is too large for the field width. Okay, so it's too large. So it has to be, let's say, 7 and below. See, it has worked. The next thing I have is called label. Okay, so label here is just a brief description, definition, or display name for the variable. Let's assume here where I have sex and I want it to display as maybe what is your sex or gender? What is your sex? You want to ask a question in your variable naming in SPSS, it's sex, okay? So it's okay. If you like, you can call it whatever it is you want to call it. So it's simply a brief description, okay, or display name for the variable. So this is just a display name that it will display, sorry, okay? So the next thing we have is called the values. This is for coding. So for coding categorical variables, it could be maybe nominal or ordinal scale, whatever it is. So here value, you type in whatever. If it is one means this. So kindly check on my video on how to create variable in IBM SPSS statistics, okay? You will understand how to use all these functions. So this is all what it's all about. It's for coding the variables for categorical variables. So we have missing value or missing column here, which is the attribute. So under this missing here we define values, the missing values. If you have a missing value in your data or missing value analysis, here you define it, okay? And the next one, we have what is called the column. The column here tells us the width of each column in the data view spreadsheet, okay? So just make sure that you understand what this is all about. Just take note, please. This is not the same as the number of digits displayed for each value. This simply refers to the width of the actual column in the spreadsheet, okay? So the next thing we have is called align. This is just like your justification. If you want your numbers or the content of this variable to be displayed, let's say here, like this variable that we have 3, it's on the right? So you can go to here, you see it's on the right. So let's assume I want it to be on the left. I click on it, left, you go. See left, if you want it to be at the center, whatever it is, it will still be there. Maybe center, it will be at the middle, and you can see it here. So then the next thing we have is called the measure. This is the level of measurement, okay? So under the measure, we have scale, we have nominal, and we have ordinal. So we have scale for continuous variable, and we have ordinal and nominal, okay? So the level of measurement for the variable, that's just all what it's all about. So by default, variables with numeric responses are automatically detected as scale variables, okay? With numeric, that's why here, observe the scale here, because you can see the symbol here. So on the data view, observe it here, it's already a scale because of numeric response, okay? So the last but one that we have here is called roles. Now the role attribute tells us the role that the variable will play in our analysis, whether it is an independent variable, a dependent variable, or both independent and dependent variable, okay? We have rules such as input, target, both, known, partition, and split. So the input role here, when your variable serves as an input role, it means the variable will be used as a predictor or independent variable. So this is the default assignment for variables. If I click on it now, so you can see I have input, it's the default. Whenever you just create a variable, it's the default, so you can always use it. But if you have an advanced analysis to perform, I'd advise you select the right rule for each variable. If it's a dependent variable, then you use the target. So let me explain in details. So I have what's called the target. So this target, the variable will be used as an outcome or dependent variable. That's the function. So if this is a dependent variable, then you click on it as target, okay? And we have what is called both. Then for both, the variables will be used as both a predictor and outcome variable. That means it is both an independent variable and a dependent variable at the same time. So and we have what is called known, which is the variable has no role assignment. It has no role assignment at all. We have what is called partition. So in the partition, the variable will partition the data into separate samples, okay? Then we have what is called split, and this is used with the IBM SPSS modeler, okay? So for those who are using IBM SPSS modeler, or if you want to use IBM SPSS modeler, you can use the split function, okay? All right, so I hope you like this video. I hope you enjoy this video. Please don't forget, kindly check on our videos on how to create variables in IBM SPSS statistics, because I'm going to explain the rules for naming variables, because we have them, and we're going to have a practical sessions on how to use all these attributes. Okay, lest I forget, the summary to this is, don't forget that in IBM SPSS Statistics Data Editor window, we have two views. That's the two layouts. The views are the data view and the variable view. Okay, so the data view is where we type in our data or see the data we are working on or have entered, or whatever it is we want to edit about the data, while the variable view is where we define our variable attributes. Okay, kindly like, share, subscribe, and hit on the notification bell for more updates. Okay, please kindly subscribe. Remember, subscription is free. Okay, kindly subscribe so we'll be able to upload more videos for you. I hope you like it and I hope you enjoy it. See you next time. Love you, love you, love you. Peace.